So recently, I've kind of been working on this principle that quite often I seem to like forget days. Like people will ask me like, what did you do 3 days ago? What did you do 4 days ago? What did you do 5 days ago? And like the reality is like I'm unable to remember what I was doing 3 or 4 days ago. And I'm finding that a little bit tricky. So I did some research. And basically I stumbled across this thing called misogi. Basically, the idea is that you do 1 year defining thing each year so that you can look back at that year and be like, what did I do that year? Now, I'm not gonna lie, most of the videos that I try to do are things that I'd like to think that I can look back on and be like, I can remember that. I mean, I can certainly remember not eating for 48 hours. I'm gonna be bloody honest about that. I want to start building in these things that are like actually year-long challenges that are actually something that I'm like, wow. When I'm like 75, because eventually at some point that will happen, touch wood, there will be that moment where I'm like, yeah, I did that. And basically, towards the end of this year, something that I really wanna do is the 3 peaks, which is like, you climb all of these 3 mountains and you do it within 24 hours, and like, that is a really cool challenge. However, unfortunately, I can't really hike. I'm not really much of a walker, so we have to build it up. We have to build it up slowly, you know? You can't just jump straight in the deep end. You need to learn to paddle first. So today, or not today, but tomorrow, we are going to be doing the Yorkshire 3 Peaks, which is like a very small version of the massive 3 Peaks. There's no driving. It takes considerably less time. You have to climb 3 different peaks, which the names of the mountains are Pen-y-Ghent, Ingleborough, and Whernside. That's not how you say it, that's how you would say it if you were German. And they are in the Yorkshire Dales Park, and we're gonna climb them with like 2 of my mates in 1 day. The route is 24 miles, or 38.6 kilometers, which, you know, for a man that's never run a marathon before is quite a long way. And it also involves over 5,000 meters of vertical ascent. I don't know if you guys are aware of how tall that is, but that is bloody high. So yeah, let's go on this adventure. So we've been picked up, and this is Matt, by the way. He very recently sent me a message for an idea, which obviously I've explained. So,
the misogi. It's doing something every 2 months that you wouldn't normally do, so that you actually remember what you've done throughout the year.
well, I thought it was every year.
No, that's the final misogi, mate. That's like the big event you have at the end of the year. But this, so you do something every other month that is memorable enough that you go, that's what I did that month on that day. So your year doesn't just collapse into one, and then you have 1 year defining kind of thing. So that would be, I don't know, he says like write a book or start a business or anything that's a big deal for you, whereas the mini ones are like this is a mini misogi. That's what you should call it.
In fact, it is a really good idea.
Yeah. Look at that sideways rain. I don't know if you can see it.
Holy fuck, bro. Mate, I don't know what I've signed up to. That is actually crazy. You convinced me to do it this week, and then now you're telling me how hard it was. It was like, oh, you'll be fine, mate. You'll be fine. I get here, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, sideways wind, storm weathers. If you die on the mountain, you die on the mountain. I'm gonna go buy some food for tomorrow because we haven't got any lunch. Right, well, we've arrived. I am starting to realise like how unprepared we are at this point. Like, it's actually really quite scary. We've arrived at like 11:30. We have no food. We have very little water. I think I brought sun cream, but I have no waterproofs. I've got one jumper, but it's literally basically a long sleeve t-shirt. I tell you what, this is gonna be one really memorable trip. I think like the moral of the story is here is if you really fail to prepare, you are screwed. Like I think I said this during my birthday thing, but like I never learn. Anyways, I'm going to go and get some much needed sleep, and then I shall see you tomorrow, bright and breezy, in hopefully better spirits. But we're gonna do this. It's gonna be a great challenge. I'm gonna learn a lot. I have already learned a lot. Number one, plan where you're going and understand the challenge that you're doing slightly better. And yeah, it's gonna be a great day. So, good morning. We actually slept quite well last night. I really don't feel too bad. That might be to do with the fact that we slightly overslept our alarm, but it's not that late. It's only like 7:15. In other news, it may or may not be slightly drizzly. Not particularly ideal because we also have no waterproofs, but we'll be able to work that out on the go, I'm sure. Also, because I'm silly enough to have not brought a backpack this morning, this is the solution that I found. Basically, we're going to take my weekend bag, because that's the only type of bag that I seem to have brought up here, and then I'm going to sling it onto my shoulders. You know, it's kind of like a backpack. I'm not going to lie, this is starting to hurt, and I've only been wearing it like this for like literally 3 minutes, so maybe we won't do this bit. We've had a look at the route, we've planned that all out. Like there are going to be a lot of people doing it, or we're under the impression that a lot of people are doing it, so I'm kind of just assuming that we'll be following the people in front of us who hopefully know what they're doing. But yeah, other than that, the portable batteries are fully charged, our water bottles are filled. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing this, because I've had a very sneaky little peek at some of the views, if you pardon the pun, that we're going to be seeing today, and they are nuts. Let the show begin. Right, well, I think we found out who we're going to be following the entire journey. Like, they look like they know what they're doing. Right, well, we've made it to the top of the first mountain. I'm not going to lie, I wish I'd spent more time doing the stair climber in the gym than chest. That was difficult. That was far more difficult than I expected. I read last night, someone was like, oh, it's basically like climbing 3 hills. That was not a bloody hill. Anyways, this is the peak. This is the highest point. The only thing that I am going to say is, obviously, we're in the clouds. It's unfortunate. Like, I was really hoping that we were going to have some incredible views, but we seem to have just been starved of them. The only other slight issue that we have is the fact that we are only about 5 kilometers in and it's taken us an hour, which, you know, in principle doesn't sound too bad, but in reality this is going to take us a while. We are going quite quick though, so hopefully we are going to do it in about 9, which would be nice rather than the 12, because, you know, the less time we're walking, probably the better. The scary part is though, the world record for this is 2 hours and 45, and I have no idea how you're managing to do like 3-minute kilometers up those climbs. But yeah, other than that, as a man who's like never really done any walking and doesn't really enjoy it, that was kind of nice, you know. The views were nice until the cloud came. So, yeah. Anyways, on to the next.
That's what we've done, and all the green's what we've got to do.
Oh my days, bro. It's gonna be a long day, mate. It's gonna be a long day. Here we go. said I'd underestimate it. I have really underestimated it. My hamstrings, when I tell you, like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to walk tomorrow. Like, that is that, and we are not even a third of the way through. I think the thing that I'm starting to really gather is, number one, how much respect I got for people that run marathons. Because in my head, I've always been like, oh, I could do a marathon. That'd be easy, right? This is a long way, man. This is a really, really long way. Like, this is not to be laughed at. And like, I'm saying that as someone whose like back is currently seizing up, and my hamstrings feel like they might ping if I run too or walk too fast. Other than the complaints though, it's been really nice. The company's been really good so far. Views are stunning. The views are actually stunning. And the scary part is every time you turn a corner, you think, oh, it can't get any better. And then it gets better. It is nuts how beautiful the UK is. I mean, we go on holiday everywhere else around the world in search of beautiful landscapes and beautiful holidays. And it is literally on our doorstep. But yeah, anyways, let's get back on the road and keep this party going, because only 2/3 of the way left to go.
We've got two mountains in a row.
Yeah, wait, was that the easiest one, the first one?
Mm-hmm. It was it's the steepest, but it's the shortest.
Oh my god. I honestly don't think I've ever been so grateful to be sat in my entire life. Anyways, in other news, we have a pesto and cheese sandwich review. This is the sandwich that Aidan very kindly made for me this morning, you know, for the rations. Supposedly we burnt 1.2k calories this morning, so this is needed. This is very much needed. That is bloody incredible. I think the thing that scares me most is that we're still only about 2/5 of the way through, and my legs literally feel like they could fall off at any moment. Like, I think I can feel my toes throbbing in my shoes. The legs are feeling refreshed, we're feeling good. Let's get back out on the road. And we are officially halfway, so now technically every step I take is a step towards home. And if that's not motivation, I don't know what is. So one step in front of the other, and we're gonna get this job done. The fact that, and I don't even know if you can see it, is where we've walked from, is absolutely bonkers. I'm kind of proud of myself now that I've seen it though. Like, it feels like I've actually done something, because when you're actually doing it, it kind of feels like you're not making any progress, but now that I'm here and I can see where I've walked from, gotta love it, right? Gotta love it. Right, well, peak number 2, we're fighting the elements. The wind's come in. I am absolutely dying. The scary part about that was like 2 kilometers. That is like quite comfortably the longest 2 kilometers I think I've done in my entire life. On another note though, by the way, like the view up here is bonkers. Like, it literally looks like it could be in the Tate Gallery. Like, everywhere you look, it's 360 degrees. Honestly, I didn't even really fathom how beautiful this was gonna be. And annoying as it is to say, it is worth it. Like, just the view itself is worth it, even though my legs feel like literally like overfilled burritos. Like, if I walk too fast they might split, but it is just, yeah, it is something else. Like, you just have to take a moment to just like take it all in. Anyways, we've got another descent, then another ascent, and then a descent, and fingers crossed this apple gets me through it, because we are starting to run out of food as well. Cheers. And there we have it, the final big boy, the final mountain. To say that I can feel every single individual bone in my foot right now would be an understatement. Every single step I take hurts. It's phenomenal. Like, I am discovering bones, I'm discovering parts of my body that I just never previously knew existed. And you know what? It feels great. It feels great. Another thing that I've really noticed, and I'm starting to maybe understand more why people enjoy hiking and more why people come out of their way to travel to these places to do these things. Because it's not, I'll be honest, it's not really been something that's ever been massively on my agenda, other than the fact that I think it was a challenge that I really wanted to do to push myself. There is just this form of meditation, this peacefulness that while you're doing it, it's just something that feels so bliss and incredible, and you're surrounded by this beauty in nature, and it's just you, your feet, and the path in front of you. And there is something that is so special about that. And on top of it, you know, you get to see cows up close. That's not something I do in London. There aren't any cows anywhere near where I live. Kind of a shame, it doesn't really look that big on camera, but that is one big mountain to go. So yeah, let's go on with it. Time to catch the other boys up. Woo! They're feeling good, the legs are feeling great. That is basically vertical. Come on, James. Here you go, fella. Nearly there. Honestly, say what you like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. There we have it, peak number 3. 8 hours and 15, 32k, and we've done it. And honestly, that is one of the hardest things I've ever done. I feel so good, like so good. I mean, I also feel like I'm gonna pass out, but I do feel good. As good as this feeling is, unfortunately we've still got 8k left to go, so that's good, but we think we're gonna be done in about an hour and a half, so not that much longer to go. Right, well now what I've got to do is go all the way back down somewhere there to the car, and then I'm going to eat and sleep. It's gonna be beautiful. Alright, we're about 3k from the finishing line. And when I tell you every step I take hurts, every step I take hurts. This ending is going to be one of the most beautiful things ever. So good morning, and we're still at the hostel. I slept dreadfully last night. Like, I actually don't think I've ever slept that bad in my entire life. I thought I was going to be out like a log, but I think I was dehydrated. I don't think I drank enough water yesterday, so I think my body was waking me up in the hopes that I'd feed it some water, and then I just didn't have any. So I just continued to sleep really badly. Now, there's 2 things I want to say for this. First of all, if you've never done a hike before, please do it. Please do a hike. It's an incredible thing. Yes, it's walking. Yes, it's kind of annoying, but like it's beautiful. Like, it's stunning, and the feeling that you get after it is incredible. Like, I feel great this morning. The second thing I was going to say on this is, like, when we actually signed up to do this hike, there was actually meant to be 6 of us. and loads of people couldn't do it. Loads of people dropped out. They had little work things going on, and then there was only 3 of us, and we almost delayed it. We almost were like, nah, we're not going to do it. We'll push it back to another time when everyone can do it. You know, and we decided that we were going to do it because we were like, well, if we don't do it now, we might never do it, right? And we did it, and it was incredible. We met another guy on the way who was an incredible bloke, and I'm just so pleased that we actually came out and did it. But I think what I'm trying to get at is that sometimes it's just better to do something, you know, even if you're not fully ready. I mean, we literally were not ready, than procrastinate it, because if you procrastinate it, you risk not doing that thing that you wanted to do at all. You know, like potentially you may never do it. I'm so pleased that we did it, because like, you know, what 48 hours. But yeah, what can I say? 3 Peaks Challenge, completed it, mate. If you haven't done a hike before, please do a hike. If you guys got any other challenges that you'd like to see me do, please let me know in the comments. And other than that, please make sure you like, subscribe, check out my other videos, and have a lovely day.